Welcome to Brea Tar Pits. They're located on the corner of Wilshire and Carson Avenue. They are part of the Page Museum, which is home to more than 1 million fossilized creatures that have become stuck in the tar pits. Los Angeles County was once under the Pacific Ocean, but that was more than 1 million years ago, because now water levels have dropped and ocean sediments began to be pushed out of the ocean. Marine sedimentary layers formed, and over time, with pressure and heat, the ancient life turned into fossil fuel. There is no tar within the tar pits. It's only asphalt. Tar is a byproduct, while asphalt is what's really being produced. There's a unique process to the formation of tar pits that is influenced by the formation of the ground sediments through which asphalt will seep through. Most of the oil found beneath California is formed by organic matter that has been preserved in shell within the marine rocks, which are usually rich with oil. Through the combination of heat, the organic matter is slowly churned into a liquid, while at the same time, activity along the San Andreas Fault has the ground folded and cracks the rocks, allowing the oil to move. Oil seeps through the surface through a fissure, fault, or permeable bed of sandstone to allow the shallow pools of sticky asphalt to be
formed. So these tar pits were initially just below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, as has been mentioned. If you take a closer look at the consistency of the pits, you can see how thick and sticky it is. This is due to the chemical composition of it. So there was a layer of sediment that had formed consisting of gravel, sand, and clay on top of older marine sediments. These sediments were also full of oil. Pools form and continue to seep as seen here. Although the larger pool is in that area, we can clearly see that the liquid oil continues to seep through. And this liquid oil becomes heavier with the presence of bacterial action known as biodegradation and oxidation. Because of their unique position just below the surface of the ocean, the heat and time slowly convert the diatoms into what geologists have discovered to be liquid oil.
They're absolutely important in the formation of tar pits. They pop out everywhere. As you can see, right here, right over there. Ooh, got some tar in my hand. Right over there too. So, fissures are absolutely important in the formation of tar pits, as fissures in the earth cause oil to seep to the surface, and they allow oil to flow to the earth's surface. Without a fissure or a conduit, oil would not be able to flow, and there would be no formation of a tar pit whatsoever. Earth fissures are formed because soil surface tension that is caused by land subsidence, which is lowering of the ground surface elevation. Land subsidence usually occurs due to groundwater pumping. Adding on, fissures usually occur where soil is softer, meaning parallel to subsurface ridges. While water is pumped out of the aquifers, the soft soil settles unevenly due to the differences in subsurface characteristics. Excuse me. While water is pumped out of aquifers, the crack with time can slowly open up and the land lowers. Water will erode the soil and around the crack, meaning depending on the rainfall, there can be a quicker or slower formation of a fissure.
When oil seeps to the surface, it creates tar pits. However, it doesn't necessarily mean something is a tar pit just because there's an oil seep. The light fraction of oil must evaporate. So, what is left of the oil is sticky asphalt or tar, also known as asphaltum. The dark liquid in the pits is known as heavy oil. Deviating from the oil, there is bacteria present within the tar pits. Bacteria eats up the petroleum and makes organic acids, as well as consumes. We all can see bubbles coming out of the asphalt. Those bubbles are the ones we still see today in La Brea Tar Pit. Back to the evaporation of the lighter fraction of the oil. Asphalt is a neutral state in a semi-solid and far different from bitumen.
The Brea Tar Pits were not always there to begin with, but rather were a result from multiple events of geology that formed them. Throughout the years, the land changed due to geological changes that either formed a certain composition or took away something. In the case of the La Brea Tar Pits, they were formed from different types of materials like rock, sand, organic material, bacteria, and different faults that led to the formation of the tar pits. Due to different compositions that worked together over time, tar pits were formed that over the years have maintained intact. The land has changed throughout erosion, and contours have been made that allow the tar pits to be formed. All the different materials have created these tar pits that have changed the geology in that environment over time and even today. Long before the tar pits were formed, there were many different types of layers that deposited different materials all over the land. The tar pits that are even seen today were on top of the land where there were streams, gravel, and lurid crystalline clay. There were usually deposits of sedimentary rock usually formed at the bottom of lakes, rivers, and streams. Understanding the layers that are present is important because it gives us a better understanding as to how tar pits were formed and how they function. From the research done of the layering of the soil, we know that crude oil is present beneath the tar pits that reaches the surface in a very unique process. From the different materials that are present on the land, it is also an important process that happens beneath the land. For example, the tar pits can have crude oil under them, which can be formed of composition organic matter from the shells of the Monterey Formation. The Monterey Formation is simply the formation of a development of piece of land that contains oil sedimentary formation in California's coast ranges that tie with the tar pits. The process is quite fascinating because there is something known as diatoms. The diatoms are very important for carbon fixation, which leads to the oil formation. Now, when you combine the heat and soil over a long period of time, it causes the soft areas of the diatom that are in the bacteria to form into liquid oil. The process is quite interesting because it is a chemical breakdown that leads to oil development beneath the tar pits. In the process of diatoms converting into liquid oil simultaneously, the San Andreas faults were moving. When they created folds that led to cracks. From these cracks, it created pathways for the oil to seep through and move around, then eventually reaching the surface. The oil seeping out is key because some of it got trapped beneath the Monterey Shell, which you can find oil onshore and offshore in Southern California at depths of between 8,000 and 4,000. The process of oil formation leads to why or where it's more likely to have oil formation, such as the tar pit.